My name's Dave Thomason. I am the owner-operator of Thomason Hospitality Group. I own and operate about 45 locations of various brands of restaurants throughout Oregon. Our company has had some real challenges, especially financially, in the times when we were shut down. If it were not for our opportunity to take advantage of things like the PPP program, I don't think I'd be sitting here today. But overall, our sales right now are up significantly over our last several years. Now, the cost of doing business has increased significantly. The two biggest costs in our industry are food and labor. And so both of those categories have seen unprecedented increases. And we've been forced to raise prices, a lot more than I have been comfortable with having to do. We raised prices in our Elmer's brand 3 times this past year. The value perception that you have with your consumer, your customer, is being strained out there. You know, the higher the price that you charge things, the more people start to really look at, am I really getting a value in what I'm buying here? And so in many cases, you combine that with the trouble and challenges that you have with keeping and retaining good employees, and the fact that some of those operational aspects of your company are not as good as they used to be, so that affects your service at the same time that people are expecting more. It's hard to depend on your job when you're closed, you're shut down, then you reopen and you're shut down again. I think a lot of people decided it was time to move into something different that might be a little more stable. One of the largest things that's shifted in our industry has to do with third-party deliveries. With companies like Grubhub and DoorDash, we have started doing business with them somewhere during the pandemic. But that's not without its challenges also, because, you know, having to trust and rely on a third party where I have no control over who they are to deliver our product successfully and properly, that's a huge leap of faith. Now, the supply chain issues have been a huge factor for the hospitality industry. You know, everything from all of our food products to equipment purchasing that we must do. We have had to get substitutions for a number of things in order to continue to sell the things that are on our menu. And it's become a lot more commonplace for us to simply not have certain things on our menu available. The biggest opportunity that I feel we have is in the expansion of our human being operations. The drive-through has become more of an important thing that is in our industry than anything out there. Anybody that has a drive-through out there, I think that you'll find that future building construction will be a lot more focused on having drive-through available. I believe what I've heard is that instead of 70% of your facility being front of the house and 30% back of the house, it's going to flip. And so the kitchen will be designed in a lot larger capacity, and so the dining room a lot smaller. When we're faced with the challenges that we've had in the last few years, as an industry, we tend to band together more and seek out opinions and ideas from others in our industry, others in our community. And I've seen a lot more of that going on. It amazes me how so much of what we face as challenges is common in all of the restaurants that we know. And sales are good, and we're doing a much better job now of keeping and retaining our personnel and training them properly, so our turnover is a lot less. I'm very excited as we move into what we might consider some semblance of normalcy, whatever normalcy means, post-pandemic, and not being able to predict the future at all. I think that things are going to remain very challenging for us, and we need to keep things tight on costs as best we can. I do believe that our consumer out there is going to be looking for value, and we need to be able to answer the call to providing that value. And that's difficult to do when you're being forced to raise your prices. But I look forward to the challenges that we have coming forward in all the brands that we do business with, and so I'm very excited about the future.